Good day, ma'am. This is my report on Chapter 3, Law on Obligation and Construction. Next, the ethical basis of business is integrity, an ethical aspect that unites both private morality and public and positional ethics. Next, the learning objectives. Identify the different kinds of obligation and the construct. Enumeration the way existing an obligation. The third one is enumerate possible application of contract in tourism, travel and hospitality industry. Next is the law. A person desiring to engage in a business in tourism, travel and hospitality industry will be meet certain obligation agreements arising from contracts will have to be made, and potential branches of those from these agreements will be encountered. Therefore, there is a need to study a fundamental principle involving law on obligation and contracts. Next is the obligation. Article 1156. An obligation is a judicial necessity to give, to do, or to not to do. The discussion of the law. An obligation is a legal duty, however created the violation of which may become the basis of an action of law. Next, it is important to identify the presentation in a certain obligation. Once the presentation is defined, you can determine who the passive subject is, whom the active section can demand full payment of obligation. Next, the following are the obligation of the passive subject in obligation to give a determined thing. Number 1, to deliver the thing which he has obligated himself to give. Second, to take care of thing with the proper diligence of a good father or a good family. Next, the third one is to deliver all its accessories and association. Fourth, to pay damage in case of branch of obligation. Obligations to do. If the dictator fails to do what he is obligated to do, it will be done at his expense. Second, if the work is done in contradiction of the tenor of obligation, it will be redone at dictator experience. The third one is if the worker is is poorly done, it will be redone at dictator's expense. The sources of ability for damages of a party in a law in obligation are as follows. The fraud. The fraud is a incidental fraud, dolo incident, which is a fraud incident to be performed of an obligation. In fraud, there is an intent to obligate the normal fulfillment of obligation and causes damages. Next is negligence. The negligence referred here in the case of construct. It's culpa constructual, the lack of negligence, of carelessness. Negligence contains an omission of the diligence which is required by the nature of the obligation and corresponds with circumstances of the persons or the time and the place. That's all, ma'am, my report on chapter 3. Have a good day. Thank you for watching.